What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Simon from Grass Lawn Care on this Friday, September the 29th. Today's video is going to be just a little bit different. If you watched a few videos back, I did a product review on RM43 Total Vegetation Control. Well, today I just want to take you guys on a little ride with me as I go and try to neaten up a fence line. Previously, this fence line just was cleared out probably about a month or two ago due to the fact that there were some dead trees that were actually on that area that needed to be cleared up. So the property owner ended up getting a company to come out and maintain that, issue. Well, as you can see, as the video goes on a little bit further, that it grew back up and the tree stumps are starting to reproduce. The vines, the weeds, and everything else really had taken over that area again. So property owner got in contact with me. I took my rider down there a couple of days ago and actually tried to knock the top off of it the best I can without destroying my undercarriage on those hidden stumps that were still, covered up due to the overgrowth. But anyway, guys, sit back and relax. Hopefully enjoy this video. Hopefully, it's just a highly satisfying video for you guys. I appreciate the comments and everything on the previous videos I've been dropping. It means a whole lot to me. So sit back and watch, and I'll chime back in just a few. And guys, no, your eyes aren't deceiving you. I am back using my Stihl weed trimmer. She's been sitting on the wall probably ever since about late May, early June. I was having problems with vibration in it. I took it to someone, let them look at it, and it was greased and everything like how it was supposed to. I was running it without the guard on it, of course, and one thing that they thought was the problem was, running it without the guard was causing too much strain to come out and giving it vibration. Well, coming to find out that wasn't the fact. So I just really at that point got tired of trying to use it, and I just sat it on the wall. So I cranked it up, brought it along with me to tackle this project, and it actually did fairly well. I just left the red max, let it get some rest before Monday comes around, and This Stihl, like I said, not being ran for almost 2 months and some change now, it still did what it had to do. So sit back, continue to enjoy. This is just below the commercial starting level for Stihl. I think it's a Stihl RS56 or something like that. But anyway, y'all sit back, continue to enjoy, and we'll wrap this video up shortly. guys, in the beginning I didn't explain exactly how much of the RM43 I was going to mix to the gallon. So being that it's time for me to spray, as you can see in the video, I went with 16 ounces to 2 gallons. And yeah, go ahead and jump in the comments and say that might be overkill or whatever, but let me explain the reasoning why I usually do it that way, and it works out great for me. What I was cutting, the camera really doesn't do 100% justice, but there are a lot of vines, I believe morning glory, a lot of that hard, I call it crabgrass, a lot of older stumps that were trying to reproduce trees, and I wanted as much chemical as I could in a heavier layer to make sure it soaks in very well on the application area. I went up and down the fence line just about twice until I ran out, and in my prior use to using this on other projects, I noticed that when I used that much to the gallon, 16 to the gallon, especially in something that was this thick and had all of those mixed up different types of vegetation in it, it definitely is going to do the job. My thought on when I spray is to have everything covered in a layer where it looks kind of like morning dew. Everything is just pretty much wet and soaked over, and some of the areas you're going to have to put a little bit more on it just because of the type of vegetation that it is. And you may have to go back and spray again. Believe it or not, even mixing the chemical that heavy, you still will have to sometimes go back and spray once again, because some of that stuff is just thick. And some areas of where I sprayed were not as bad, but the areas on the beginning of this video, you can tell it was a little bit thicker and greener and everything versus once I get farther down the line. So I ended up just spraying everything in that cut down swath that they cleared out, just so I can make sure I can manage it with my mower and weed trimmer in the future. Yeah, the season's really pretty much, the green season's about to come to a close here, but some of that stuff still grows yearly, year round. So that's another reason why I went ahead and sprayed it, just so during the winter time it still won't just be growing and looking crappy. So at the end of the day, just do your research when you get ready to start making spray applications. They have suggested rates, but a lot of people can honestly say that they apply just a little bit more mixture to the water, just to make it just a little bit more stronger when you get ready to apply it. That way you have a good turnout, hopefully the first spraying. And the second spraying, if there is one, you're just going to do a little bit of touching up of areas that just didn't get hit and covered well enough when you were first spraying. So guys, about to wrap this video up. I'll be back with you in just a second. And guys, I forgot to mention, just make sure when you get ready to start your application process to make sure that you have your stream at the end of your nozzle set to the proper width that you want to cover. Rather if you want it to be a very wide pattern of liquid coming out, rather if you want it to be a semi-cone or almost a solid stream of liquid going to wherever you're applying your application. That way you don't accidentally spray something that you don't want as well in the process. So always test out your pattern on your nozzle right before you start your application. That way you know exactly how much you're covering with each swath. And guys, as I'm wrapping this video up, one thing I just wanted to point out, it's just me particularly, and I'm sure there are others that do the same thing as well, but I noticed that when I'm actually spraying anything, whether if it's, Roundup or anything like that, pesticide or whatever, I kind of try to walk, depending on what I'm spraying. Let me revise that. If I'm spraying vegetation, for example, like I'm doing here, I kind of try to walk backwards. And granted, that's not like the game plan. You want to walk forward so you won't trip over everything, because throughout the video, my feet were hitting vines and I was, may have stumbled or tripped a little bit. But the reason I walk backwards is I'm just big on walking through my application of product after I sprayed it. I figure if I walk backwards and coat as I go towards the end line, to me, it works out better. That way I'm not, dragging my foot through the product or prematurely removing it off the leaf of anything like that. That's just my thinking and my thought. And another thing that I would point out when you are spraying vegetation or pesticides or anything like that is always make sure you check your wind direction. As I was spraying, the wind was actually still spraying the opposite direction of any vegetation that I wanted to stay alive. It wasn't blowing towards anything else. So everything that didn't go straight to the ground, it went towards the wood line or towards the rest of the stuff that I hope got, a dose of the application on it. So you always want to check your wind direction. And the best way to do that is if you're at a business or anybody who is a homeowner, if they have a flag, look at the flag and see direction that is blowing that morning or afternoon or whatever. And that'll give you a general direction. Hey, I need to spray this direction or walk this direction or whatnot with my application. That way I won't be, sending stuff downhill where I don't want it to go to, causing harm to any other living vegetation or whatnot. So guys, hopefully this video, was some helpful hints and tips. It wasn't a big video, but guys, I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, please hit that thumbs up button. Please consider hitting the subscribe button as this channel grows. If you like the content, just turn on that bell notification. I'm trying to drop stuff more frequent now, more consistently. That way at least if your presence is always there, people will know you're trying to keep their attention. So that's my goal. As the season is about to wrap up, I know it's going to be kind of hard to do content unless you do leaf jobs or still, trim shrubs during the winter or whatnot. But guys, anyway, please find it at no charge to hit that thumbs up. Find it at no charge to hit that subscribe button. Leave comments below. I really enjoy the interactions, the positive vibes. And guys, I'm out of here. Peace out. And last thing, guys, before I'm going, as you can see here, I am cleaning out my sprayer at the end of spraying my application. Make sure you make that a common habit, unless you just got individual sprayers for certain chemicals that you apply. I use this one for more than one thing. I use it for pesticides, and I also use it for herbicides. So at the end of the day, I make sure I go and rinse it out with clean water. I'll put some water in it and I'll put some pressure on it. And I'll make sure I also clean out the hose that may have some residue in it also, because you don't want to go and spray pesticides and you have some leftover residual herbicide in there that kills, vegetation, and you go there and spray something and you kill something that you don't want to kill. So just make sure you practice cleaning it out and making sure that your sprayer is ready to go for whatever your next application may be. So this time I'm out. Peace.